Make me a green tea, Vasilevsky. Hello there, it's Chris with Bolts Analysis 2020. Another day, another tie and then win for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Back on the horse. 4-3 at home against the Los Angeles Kings, and that one was a bit closer than it needed to be. Not helped by the fact that we had a pretty poor start with Carter and Clifford basically going to me, to you, to me, to you, 2-0 Kings pretty early on. Neither goal was particularly pretty, but I think what the Kings did well in this game, and would do well to continue doing, is just hassling. Hassling, harrying, being a right nuisance, making sure the puck doesn't go outside of the offensive zone, getting pucks to the net. It works. We couldn't handle it to begin with. What I did like was that we pushed back, and we pushed back quickly. We tied it within that period. Good goal from Cologne, and very good effort by Stamkos on the second, just to make sure that the puck was buried, didn't wait for to see if there might be a whistle, just went in. And Quick will probably feel a little bit annoyed that he wasn't able to cover it, but there we go. Not a lot happened in the second. Third, again, just a little bit annoying that we couldn't quite clear the zone. The Kings got a good tip in. Dustin Brown, there wasn't a lot Vasi could do about that. Vasi then very nearly gave the game away with a ridiculous play where he then therefore had to effectively save on his own messed up play. Literally had to drop the stick, drop everything, get over and save. Otherwise it would have been 4-2, and I think we would have been a little bit dead in the water. As it was, got the chance to tie it up. Comes to Kucherov, rocket. Brilliant shot. Couldn't have taken it any better. Jonathan Quick had no chance. 3-3 tie. We take it to overtime. Not a lot happens. Take it to the shootout. Win. Probably could have done without the overtime in the shootout, but a win is a win. It takes us on to 60 points. Still second. And looking pretty healthy. If we can get another 2 wins against Minnesota and Winnipeg before the All-Star break, that will be very nice indeed. It would take us a little bit closer to Boston, who lost 3-0 against the Columbus Blue Jackets. And that was the sort of game where, a lot of Boston fans would be like, oh, took a rest, they whacked him in the head, they elbowed him in the head, bunch of goons, how dare you? And my response to that would be, well, did your players, try and respond to that? Really? Well, did they then show that Columbus that they wouldn't be pushed around? Not really. No, Columbus were pretty comfortable for the rest of that game, and once they got the second goal, doddle for Columbus. And considering this is a Columbus side that didn't exactly have the better of the games against Boston last year, got knocked out by Boston in the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, so you would have thought the Bruins would have been able to find a way to come back in the game, but no, didn't score. Another loss, and just signs that Boston kind of need to just adjust something. Something's not quite right. Still very good side, still more than capable of picking up points here and there, but is this a side that can therefore right the wrong of losing the Stanley Cup final last year and go on to lift the cup this year? Debatable. Other Atlantic movement was Toronto winning, and they had to, against the New Jersey Devils, 7-4. Good offensive game. Still kind of suggests that the Leafs need to sort out the defense, but hey, if you could score 7, then you're probably going to win most games. But still not completely convinced that this is a Toronto team that can do, better than round 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. But who knows? For now, if they can respond to bad defeats by getting good wins, then at least that shows that they've got some mental fortitude there. Buffalo also got a win. They beat the Vegas Golden Knights 4-2, and because of that, Vegas have slipped out of the playoff standings, and therefore decided that that is an excellent idea to fire the coach Gallant and bring in the old San Jose coach DeBoer, which, considering the whole Vegas-San Jose rivalry, seems a little bit weird to me, and it is especially weird because DeBoer wasn't having a very good season with the Sharks. When he took the Sharks to Tampa in December, we promptly stuffed them 7-1. So I'm not convinced that's the answer, and it seems like a bit of a knee-jerk reaction to fire Gallant the second his side slip out of a very tight playoff race. But there we are. Florida didn't play, so we'll see how they do in a couple of nights. But for now, the Atlantic has kind of stayed as it is, just the slight difference being that Tampa and Toronto have moved a little bit closer to Boston, but not a huge amount. No change in the wildcard standings on the East. Columbus are close now, with that good win. And Philly play tonight in St. Louis, so that's a chance for them to sort of try and hold off the Blue Jackets and the Panthers. On the West, there was quite a bit more movement. Dallas looking to strengthen their spots in the playoff standings, beat Colorado again. It's a very good result for the Stars, and the Pacific just keeps moving about. It just won't stay still. Arizona are now top. Then it's Edmonton, because Arizona beat the Sharks and Edmonton beat the Predators. Then you've got Calgary, Edmonton-Calgary. What a first-round playoff matchup that would be. Then you've got, in the wildcard standings, you've got Vancouver and Winnipeg, who played each other, and Winnipeg shut out the Canucks 4-0. And then you've got Vegas just outside. And then you've got Nashville, who do have games in hand, but can't really rely on those because they're starting to get cut a little bit adrift. And it doesn't matter if you could score a very nice lacrosse goal, Philip Forsberg. If your team lets in 4 and you only score 2, then it doesn't matter how fancy the goals were, you've still lost the game. So Lightning have a day off. Like I say, there's not a huge number of games on tonight. There's the St. Louis-Philly game, which I mentioned, and there's also Montreal-Chicago, which doesn't exactly have a lot riding on it. So yes, I will be back tomorrow to chat a little bit about how I think the Lightning can improve and things like that. And also I will be previewing the game away at Minnesota Wild. But until then, this has been another Bolts analysis, and remember, when there's Cooch on the puck, there's always a chance.